Welcome back. Decision time Tuesday here in Harris County with both Democratic and Republican primaries. The Democratic race that's drawn the most money, airtime, and attention is the battle between incumbent District Attorney Kim Ogg and challenger Sean Teer. Recent polling had Ogg trailing by a substantial margin going into the early vote. Well, turnout has been pretty low. On the GOP side, there is an interesting and hard-fought contest underway for chairmanship of the Harris County Republican Party between incumbent Siegel and challenger Bobby Orr. Panel, I'm looking for insight and predictions ahead of the election. So stand and deliver. Well, not figuratively, but I'm going to ask you about the Teer-Ogg race. Thoughts?
Yeah, I think the Teer-Ogg race will come to a conclusion on Tuesday.
That's it? That's it?
That's it.
Okay, Sue, take it.
You know, I know the poll showed that Teer was ahead, but I don't know. I believe that poll. Only 6% of early voters have gone out to vote. It's really dismal. I think that when you have a lower amount of voters going, and we'll see what happens Election Day, I tend to think that at least closes that gap in that poll for Kim, and she stepped up her campaign over the last 10 days a lot. So I think it'll be a close race. I agree with Marcus. Of course, it'll be over with that night, but I think it may tighten as we go along.
Bill, you've been watching the campaign. Ogg has gone negative pretty hard with some decent arguments, talking about Teer's money. Is that going to strike a bell with primary voters?
I don't know. Of course, the problem is she started way too late. That's the biggest problem. But I saw some polling on that race for Democratic primary voters, and their biggest concern was violent crime. And I think she should have stuck to that message over and over and over and run that tape of him saying he was going to, you know, let everybody loose. And as long as you commit to be a better person, I'll let you out. And I think that would, but that's not what they stuck with, and they started way too late. So I'm worried about that race. I think Siegel probably survives the Republican chair race. I know, Gary, you probably would know better than me, but in talking to some of the precinct chairs, it sounds like to me they're going to stick with her. There's some others. There's tax assessor collector, Marx's brothers in that race. We got the Senate
District 15
race. We got a lot of local races. I'm interested to watch that.
Yeah, that Senate race is going to be in a runoff. Yeah. Former Harris County Republican chair. What's going to happen in that race?
Yeah, you always give the lead to the incumbent because they've already been there. And Cindy's done okay. One of my only major criticism of her, she did not recruit candidates for judge in races where the Democratic incumbent sucked. Okay? Basically that. And you don't do that. Instead, we ran some people in races where the Democratic judge was really good. And my advice to the party had been, leave them alone and go after the bad judges. I mean, you want to have a good courthouse. So, but Bobby Orr's got his case, and he's making his case, and we'll see what happens. In the DA's race, I think it's a pick-em because I think Sean Teer has gone totally crazy left, pro-crime agenda, like New York, like Philadelphia, like Chicago, like San Francisco. That is not what the people of Harris County want. And Kim has done, I think, generally a good job, not perfect, but a good job. I think she's worthy of consideration, but the choice, terrible.
The money matters.
You should vote for her.
All right, we're going to leave it there.